Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about why the Loki series is going to be crazy. Like, really, the Loki series, the more and more I hear about it, the crazier and crazier it sounds. Now, there's been some set photos leaked about that about a week or two ago, and there's been so many rumors and things out there by people who do this for a living, and it is crazy around this Loki series. From anything from the idea that Loki will be how Jane Foster gets the Mjolnir in Thor: Love and Thunder, to the Squadron Supreme, which is basically Marvel's evil version of the Justice League appearing in this, to Kang the Conqueror appearing in the Loki series. I mean, there are a lot of things, to Enchantress, to Lady Loki. It's already been confirmed that the Time Variance Authorities are going to be in this, which is basically Marvel's version of the Time Cops. There are so many spinning things in this Loki series, and I wanted to just kind of talk about it a little bit because I really haven't gotten in. I made a video talking about why it's I think I have made a video talking about it, but there's been so much more information that has come out on this show since then, and I really haven't gotten the chance to talk about it because I've been talking about other things and been working. But, this show, this is what we know about the Loki show, right? As of right now, all we really know is that the show is about 2012 Loki who escaped with the Tesseract. One way or another, he gets in trouble with the Time Variance Authorities, they arrest him, and mischief erupts. Now, the premise that we heard back when the show was announced was something along the lines of Loki time hopping and fucking with the events of human history. Loki just jumping through time and screwing with events of human history. Now, at the time, nobody really could wrap their minds around how is Loki doing this. How is Loki jumping through time? He has a space stone. But the little glimpse you saw in the big game spot for Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki was him in a prison suit with cuffs on, which tells me he is in a Time Variance Authorities prison. He's in the Time TV Variance Authority. So yeah, TVA. Yeah, he's in a TVA prison, which if you think about this logically means that these guys have to have some way of time traveling. So which tells me that Loki's hijacked one of their fucking things and he's time traveling. So the show's got the time traveling aspects. There have been rumors about the show having alternate versions of characters since he's going to be traveling through alternate timelines. There's multiple things that suggest that the Enchantress will make her on-screen appearance in this, and excluding an actress that they cast, a blonde actress who they cast, who was seen in a set leak wearing very, very Asgardian light armor on her chest. It kind of looks like something Loki would wear if he was a woman. And that's why a lot of people went to the whole Lady Loki thing. I don't think Marvel's gonna do the Lady Loki thing. It's just a little weird. The Lady Loki thing isn't the type of thing that you put in a serious capacity in a Marvel product. Because even in the comics, the whole Lady Loki thing is convoluted. Loki jump into the body of Sith, into the reincarnated body of Sith. That whole thing is just weird and mixed and just convoluted and just really, Loki's just fucking with her by doing that. But, so, that whole thing was stupid. To me, the Lady Loki thing is just whatever. I don't care. It just felt kind of gimmicky. Even in the comics, it felt kind of gimmicky. So I highly doubt that Marvel's going to hang their hat on Lady Loki. What I do think that the blonde actress they cast is playing Enchantress. I think Enchantress' name is I can never say her name correctly. I'm never gonna try, but yeah, it's Enchantress. Enchantress. I can't speak today. Maybe I'm getting it. Enchantress, and because Enchantress is a well-known Thor villain. Honestly, this entire time since the debut of Thor Thor in 2011. I've always wondered about the Enchantress because you gotta understand, when I was young, I wasn't super duper in, I read some of the comics, but really I only read Spider-Man and the X-Men and Fantastic Four, the big ones. I didn't start getting into the nitty-gritty till after, Iron Man and the Avengers, because they made me want to go, oh, that's cool, I might go read their comic books. But I didn't start getting really into reading comics until Earth's Mightiest Heroes came out in about 2012. And Earth's Mightiest Heroes had the Enchantress in it, and it had all these characters from Thor's catalog in it. And I remember just being like, the Enchantress was just such a reoccurring character, and her weird obsession with Thor. I was so curious about that. So I can't wait to see Enchantress in this and how that goes and how that plays through. Also, obviously, Owen Wilson is in this. But the big rumor that a lot of people are talking about is the potential of Kang the Conqueror being in this. Kang the Conqueror being in this would make all the sense in the world. And I have seen some people who think that they're not going to do it because they're like, oh, this is just... I have to say, though, some people need to recognize that these shows are big movies. These shows are big parts of the MCU. I have seen some people kind of talk like, oh, well, it's a show, so it can only be but so big. Oh, it's a show, so they can only introduce but so much. No, these are a part of the MCU. This is not Netflix. This is not ABC. This is Disney Plus. This is Marvel Studios. You see Marvel Studios. You don't see Marvel Entertainment. You don't see, in association with Marvel, you see Marvel fucking Studios on that thing. And that means this is a part of the MCU. These shows are going to have $200 million plus budgets. So you can, and they're going to be about 6 episodes. So you can bet your ass. You know how much money that equals out to an episode? You can bet your right ass that there's a high likelihood that if you're going to introduce Kang the Conqueror anywhere, it has to be in this. And Kang the Conqueror is a really cool villain. Talk about a villain that I saw in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Earth's Mightiest Heroes really introduced me to a lot of the deeper cut Marvel things, and it made me go look into them because Kang the Conqueror is a fantastic villain. He's an interesting villain. He's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? A thinking man's villain, especially with the time travel aspect. They've already traveled through time. Now you're introducing the time variance authorities and a Loki traveling through time making mischief. It just makes logical sense that Kang will be introduced in this. Now, the rumors about the Squadron Supreme, I have a little bit less, I'm a little more doubtful for. Maybe a hint at them. Granted, the Squadron Supreme, though, if I remember, the Squadron Supreme are in the regular Marvel comic book universe. They're not like some alternate reality group. They are in the Marvel comic universe. They're just assholes, if I remember correctly. So I don't think they have to. So like, I don't know if they need to introduce them in this. I'd introduce them later on. Honestly, I would introduce Squadron Supreme to go against the new Avengers that come together, because it could be a great dichotomy of here's the perfect Avengers. Here's the perfect version of you guys. They're aliens. They're here to save us. And the regular, and like the new Avengers are just like, oh, we don't know about these guys. And they just fuck you guys up. That's what I think they should save the Squadron Supreme for. Because the Squadron Supreme is a great idea. Especially since it's completely a spoof on, it's completely a spoof on the Justice League. It really is. It's you know, especially with Hyperion and yeah, it's crazy. But the Loki shows just the directions it can go in, the possibilities, and then the idea that Loki might still be a villain in this, because that's kind of been one of the leads lost in the whole story about the Loki show. Loki's still a villain right now. He's not a good guy. He hasn't had this whole thing with Thor where he sacrificed himself to save Thor, or he hasn't seen his mother die. He didn't see his mother die. He didn't see his father die. He didn't see Asgard blown up. You know, he didn't sacrifice himself to save his brother. He didn't do any of that shit. This is hardcore rip a guy's eye out. I just saw Avengers the other day on a watch along because there was this whole watching thing, the party thing, but I digress. He is hardcore rip a guy's eye out in front of people and watched him squeal Loki right now. He is that Loki. Like he's pretty fucking, like, that's the Loki we're talking about. So he's a bad guy. So something that has kind of went over people's heads as they bitch and moan about the MCU is this is a bad guy movie. This is a movie about a villain. Loki isn't a good guy in this. He isn't a good guy. Maybe he might still see some good guy qualities of him, but he's not a good guy. He's still a mass murderer right now. He's still I want to get revenge of Loki right now. He's like, this is a Loki who just lost and got away. Like, yeah, man, I'm just saying. Like, a lot of people have forgotten about this because there's also been many rumors that Loki will be in Thor: Love and Thunder as a villain or as a like background as a co-villain, and I was just like, I mean, I could see. The only thing I didn't agree with a lot of the speculation that was out there, but I love the idea of Loki still being a villain because making this a different version of Loki means that you get to go in a different direction with the character, and that's great. That's the one cool thing about it. Like, and I get it. Some people are still upset that they didn't kill Loki and Gamora, but I've always argued that like it would have been better to kill both of them and just not bring them back. Maybe, you know, I would have been good with that too, but. But the fact that they didn't just bring them back, it's not like this is the same Loki and the same Gamora. Since these are characters who have completely different experiences than their other selves, their characters can go in completely different directions. I highly expect Gamora to go in a completely different direction than the original Gamora. I do not expect her and Peter Quill to be so. If they are lovey-dovey, it's not going to be the same. And I completely expect this version of Loki not to be the same version of Loki from Thor Ragnarok and Thor: The Dark World and Infinity War. This Loki is gonna be a lot more edgier and a lot more angrier and a lot more, because this is a Loki who hasn't gotten all that shit off of his chest. He's just a Loki who still hates his brother. He still hates people. He still wants to get his revenge. He still thinks he can get his revenge. His plan hasn't failed. He hasn't lost everything yet. There's still some shit that he needs to do. This is mischief Loki. This is straight to the veins, God of mischief Loki, and it's gonna be great to see. And then I might talk about Gamora on another video, but that's my thoughts on the Loki series coming out soon. There's a lot of crazy things out there. I just wanted to get this out there to you guys, people who might be wondering about this. The Loki series is kind of going, like, the more you hear about it, the more you go, this is gonna be a fucking weird ass show, isn't it? And just for reference, it has the Rick and Morty people on it. Like, it has the Rick and Morty, I think it has one of the Rick and Morty creators working on this series, just to kind of show you the level of thought that's going to go into the time travel and stuff. Like, as soon as I heard that, I went, this is going to be a weird fucking show, isn't it? By the way, Rick and Morty is really rooted in the Marvel, Disney Plus right now. I mean, because the woman who wrote and directed Pickle Rick is directing, is the director on the entirety of She-Hulk. So like, Rick and Morty is all over Disney Plus right now. So if you love Rick and Morty, man, you best be looking out. But thank you guys for joining that Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. And are you excited for the Loki series? Like I said, I just made this video because it just dawned on me thinking about the Loki series. I was looking at other videos and I was like, you know what? This series is looking like it's going to be pretty freaking good. So thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show once again. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.